Good afternoon, friends. We are watching. No, we're not watching
This is
Israeli News Live.
evening, not
Oh,
afternoon.
good evening.
Yes.
Are we watching Rise Up, Children of God?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then you do the intro.
Oh,
Howdy, y'all.
we are going to look at some weird stuff around hydroxychloroquine. As I told you, some weird stuff. And as I said, I would never take the drug, hydroxychloroquine, only because it's a fad, Steve. I'm just not jumping on this train, are you?
No, and the really strange thing is we are seeing that a lot of people are falling for it.
I know.
I mean, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not. They even have an article that just came out saying that Fauci was using hydroxychloroquine 15 years ago for the SARS virus. So they're building up a case to get people to take it, but the people don't realize how dangerous that is. And I'm talking about people, even former Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney, who is very much against everything the Trump administration is doing, has also been putting out things believing that this may be good. So maybe this interview here will help her as well.
Well, it's a lot of people, Steve, who it's mainly Trump supporters, but even, all the people are thinking that if we have hydroxychloroquine as a preventative, maybe we don't have to take a vaccine, but which they don't understand is just another phase in this entire game. It has all been pre-planned down to the name hydroxychloroquine, down to the planning that they are going to use anti-malaria drugs in this scheme. That was all pre-planned 10 years ago. And we're going to prove it because we're going to actually watch a lot of videos tonight. So mainly watch videos with us because a lot of other people did work for me.
Oh, wow. I remember the interview with Harry Volks, I believe is his name, from 2010.
Yes.
And they got to watch the entire video of this.
Oh, my goodness.
This guy really exposes what the plan was going to be.
Right.
And we're talking about 10 years before it ever got here.
Yes, it's a lockstep document.
All right.
He basically exposed it all. Then there was predictive programming in the movie, as we're going to see. And let's see what they were planning with this hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine. But, people think, as I was saying in the beginning, people think that, if we have this, it's just a pill. Now they're doing all kinds of explanations scientifically, how it works, why it works. And doctors are persuading them it works. And all of that stuff. Like if we are in some kind of a real, true, dangerous pandemic here and we desperately need cure. Okay, so here we go. Hegelian dialectic. They have created a problem to which they have a solution. And now everybody's jumping on that solution because they believe their daddy government will take care of everything. And the job of people is only vote in some people, so they can sit on a couch, turn on TV, and eat popcorn. That's what they think. And they think they're going to avoid vaccinations, which that's not true, because they're at the same time, while they're talking about hydroxychloroquine, they're promoting vaccines, and Trump is saying how he's going to bring troops.
And doctors are being really duped by this. We know doctors that are actually, they're not thinking. They're not using their critical thinking skills about what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I see what it is too, Giannis. A lot of it is fear. It's fear. These doctors are fearful of losing their practices. They're fearful. And they admit, to some degree, they're admitting that. They're like, what can we do? What else can we do?
Right, what can we do? They think that once we have this miracle drug, everything will go away. We go back to normal lives. We don't have to take a vaccine. None of this will happen, people. None of this. This is just another phase in this whole scenario. And hopefully you will see it. So watch with us, bunch of stuff. People, really good YouTubers have done a lot of homework for me. I didn't have to do as much, but I'm going to just watch with you these videos. Please watch with me. And this is from stopthecrime.net, a very good video. Yes, it is Harry Vox, investigative journalist. We're going to come back to him. But this half, before? What is
Well,
the
we're
time?
at the 8:58-minute mark.
Okay, I need
it's
to be
near Harry Vox 2010 Rockefeller.
I need to be a little bit further.
Okay.
Just a second.
Where do you need to be at?
Just a minute. What is it now? I can't see.
9:18.
A little more.
9:25, 28, 9:35,
Just a minute.
9:43.
Okay, almost there. So just watch from here and we will be stopping and discussing.
All right.
Don't do anything. You're going to get that world very soon.
All right, what's going on? Just let me think about where to start.
Well, he saw something. What is it?
I saw a virus. I think some kind of disease.
Virus? Like what? Like SARS?
I don't know. All I know is it's highly infectious. It may be fatal. Right now, we could all be infected. If we take this outside, we risk the whole town.
Johnny, how big is this going to get?
I don't know. We just have to do everything we can to stop this, starting right now. He's right. All right, here's what's going to happen. We need to make sure that everybody that's inside stays inside. I'm going to get a few deputies on it. We'll call it a lockdown.
Lockdown? No, you cannot lock the school doors.
This is for your family's safety.
Will I get sick too?
Maybe we should wear masks. What difference does it make? According to you, we've already been exposed. Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Smith. I'm responding to political pressure. You have no reason to be scared. Let me ask you something. Animals. You've been around any animals in the backyard, even, let's say, a skunk, a raccoon? I'm going to swab the inside of your mouth with this little Q-tip. Trying to get a handle on this animal. Damn efficient airborne transmission. Blood tests and swabs aren't telling us much. We know it acts like a virus. It causes high fever and respiratory distress. Tracking and treating a mysterious outbreak like this would take the CDC months.
We better get started. That everyone who hasn't been exposed already needs to wear a mask.
China? Is that where flu viruses come from? Yeah. A lot of viruses come from there. International flight to China? That's no coincidence. Whatever it is, it originated in China.
Time is not on our side.
It's like looking for a needle in a needle stack.
We have ruled out all the usual suspects. Influenza, SARS, bacterial pneumonia.
How long is it going to take? Well, it took 34 days to isolate the coronavirus that caused SARS, and that's fast.
I'm authorizing a quarantine on everyone who's come in contact with a symptomatic person.
There's got to be something I can do.
And the enzyme is virus when they
So the chloroquine.
Do you hear this?
Chloroquine.
Chloroquine. Now, what did you hear so far? Because that was a predictive programming in an actual movie show.
Well, they were breaking too.
From a long time ago.
Right. They were breaking the movie up. He was speeding it up faster so you could see all the different parts.
Masks.
So jumping to everything so you can see that this movie had so much subliminal messages in there.
Well, everything is going on now. Lockdowns, China virus originated in China, masks. Okay, all of that stuff. It even asked, the child is asking, am I going to get sick? It says, yes. So you bet something's going to come to children in the next stages. And now we have what? Chloroquine? Well, let's keep watching.
Maybe back up just a little bit so they hear a little bit of this over because they helps
they're going
the
to hear
people
more
to
of
see.
it. Don't worry.
All right, go ahead.
This is it. This is your virus.
I'm sorry, but there's no cure for that.
There's no cure for it.
No cure, but it was coronavirus. Did you know this?
I noticed it was coronavirus
and
as
what
well.
were the symptoms? High temperature, respiratory distress. Everything.
And here's the weird thing. This was shown 10 years ago.
A long time ago.
No, I don't know about the movie, but the man speaking about it 10 years ago.
Right.
So the movie's probably older. All right. And we've been telling people coronavirus has been around for more than 50 years.
Yeah.
36 strains of it. No wonder why they're talking about coronavirus.
Right.
So friends, listen, COVID or coronavirus is nothing new. It is old. Here you go, right here.
Right now they're saying that they're weaponized it or whatever. You know, there's theories, but all I'm looking at is my neighbors everywhere, and I'm looking at people that I know. So far, I really don't know anybody who had it.
No.
You know, so, but anyway, let's keep going and let's keep going.
Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug.
Listen,
Did you hear this? Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug. Do you hear this?
Where's the enzyme? Welcome back, you damn fool. What happened? We started everyone on chloroquine, stopped the thing dead in its tracks. Now, the CDC would have figured it out eventually, but not in time. What difference does it make? According to you, we've already been exposed. Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Smith. I'm responding to political pressure. We started everyone on chloroquine, stopped the thing dead in its tracks. Now, the CDC would have figured it out eventually, but not in time.
A drug called chloroquine. And some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine.
Okay, do you see this movie from a long time ago? Predictive programming. This is how Illuminati works. They have to tell us upfront in movies. So how comfortable you now feel about hydroxychloroquine, knowing that they have been pre-planning this? But let's just keep going. You know, what's going to come out of this?
I want to slow the thing down for people because he's got everything sped up.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it hard for people to hear. All right, let's see. I think playback. All right, let's go. Let's do it minus 75. All right, let me just back up just a little tiny bit, if you don't mind.
Thing dead in its tracks. Now, the CDC would have figured it out eventually, but not in time.
A drug called chloroquine. And some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine. So chloroquine or hydroxychloroquine.
Okay, let's stop and read. It says one of the narratives in a 2010 Rockefeller document called Scenarios for the Future. So again, we have a Rockefeller document called Scenarios for the Future, which has proven to be the literal playbook and script for the COVID-19 pandemic. Also details a scenario involving an anti-malarial drug to combat a pandemic resulting in mass deaths. I talked today with Deborah Tavares. She said she has the document Scenarios for the Future. And she said, Yana, this anti-malarial drug, that's in a document 10 years ago. They have pre-planned this. So people, if you think that that's something that just came up and they just found out how great it is and how, no, this is part of the script. You are in a movie and they're playing out the script.
We're the live actors.
Exactly.
Now, are you going to keep playing it on?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted people to see that again, though, because
but it
was going way too
one
fast.
More time. Okay. Also details a scenario involving an anti-malarial drug to combat a pandemic resulting in mass deaths. How do you understand this?
That's what we're saying.
What will result in mass deaths? Let's see. Let's keep going. Okay, you slowed it down now, boy.
Well, I slowed it down where you can hear it. People don't hear this going that fast.
This report was produced by Rockefeller Foundation and Global Business Network, May 2010. And this is inside. Listen. Pharmaceuticals giants released thousands of drug compounds shown to be effective against diseases like malaria into the public domain as part of an open innovation agenda. Excuse me? Open innovation agenda? All right. The particular document is writing up future, how things will happen. Up till now, everything is happening just like the script says. So this was all pre-planned, this hydroxychloroquine. That's what makes me mad, that people don't think.
Today, we were listening as we were talking with a friend of ours that is a doctor, and he was talking about how that chloroquine was used to treat malaria.
Well,
see why?
Everybody knows
because that's the script that they want them to follow. Is the point?
Exactly. That it's going right by the script, people.
And by the way I slowed it down is because the person that did this sped up the audio so that you could go through it faster. But sometimes people's brains don't register that.
Now it's really slow. Okay, in 2021, now again, this is a document that predicts future. That's the script, okay? In 2021, 600 children in Côte d'Ivoire died from bogus hepatitis B vaccine, which paled in comparison to the scandal sparked by mass deaths from tainted anti-malarial drug years later. What? So the mass deaths will be from hydroxychloroquine that was tainted drug? I don't know, people, but I will not take these drugs. And I'm going to also show you.
From a tainted anti-malaria drug. And of course, it was chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine.
Tainted.
That was the drug. And now they're calling that tainted.
But it was some kind of a scandal sparked by mass death from tainted anti-malarial drug. That's in the documents.
I'll speed it back up for you.
Oh, wow. I don't know. But to me, this is a major red flag. Anyway.
Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug.
Okay, they're showing it beautifully. Tainted
But the problem is that, again, it's too fast. Nobody can hear that. I would never hear it either. I think we need to go back just a touch.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, friends, it's going to be
Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug.
tainted anti-malarial drug.
That's an anti-malarial drug.
Israel's Teva, now watch this. Israel's Teva donates 6 million doses of malaria drug to fight coronavirus. Yes, Israel is heavily involved. Chabad is heavily involved. And we're going to bring Adam Green's video, which will explain to you how they're involved in this hydroxychloroquine. And I don't know, I'm going to give my comments later about all of this, but Teva to donate 6 million doses of hydroxychloroquine. That's Israeli company, okay? We are committed to helping to supply as many tablets as possible as demand for this treatment accelerates at no cost. Teva Executive Vice President. Wow. They're just rushing this like, oh, they're so kind, aren't they? To bring you the cure. Drug makers boost study provides evidence for safety and efficacy. Yeah, take it. COVID-19 in Cameroon, chloroquine therapy, hailed by French experts, becomes state protocol. By the way, this French study failed on this. I don't know if you know that. It failed. And that's how President, with his tweets, hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin taken together have a real chance to be one of the biggest game changers. Wow. Savior. Let's see what comes out of it, but I can tell you this, I am taking it. Oh, wow. The idea that hydroxychloroquine is the cure has taken off within certain online communities, like anti-vaxxers and followers of QAnon and right-wing conspiracy theory. QAnon, and QAnon, and then anti-vaxxers. Well, I'm an anti-vaxxer, but no, I'm not for this drug. It sounds too good to be true, and if it does, it is. And watch our previous video on this. Anyway, let's watch next video. And this is by Adam Green. He did several videos on hydroxychloroquine. That's from April 2nd, so a long time ago, but he was here talking about the entire time up till the minute marking 29. He's talking about BlackRock Corporation. What is it? How is it involved with Israel and Zionists? And when you think of BlackRock, think of the black cube that Jews have right here on a forehead, or think of the black cube in Mecca, okay? So BlackRock. And let's just listen a little bit to Adam.
Lobbyists, and then filled Trump's fighting the deep state and the cabal. He's taking on the Federal Reserve. I heard it on Alex Jones. Vanity Fair. Experts, Trump. Okay, so now we're moving on to this miracle drug and how it connects to BlackRock.
Ooh.
In a shocking
miracle drug, which is hydroxychloroquine, how it relates to this BlackRock Israeli corporation. BlackRock funds it, Steve. Jared Kushner is involved in this. I mean, really, people, after all of this expose that we did on Chabad, and we did on Talmud and what Talmud teaches about Goyim or Gentiles, would I trust anything like this? I just don't know.
Possibly nefarious conspiratorial way. I don't know. We'll have to see. Vanity Fair says, experts, Trump touting of an untested, quote, game-changer coronavirus drug is dangerous. Elon Musk is promoting it. First, the Breitbart, and this is chloroquine for coronavirus. First, Breitbart and Blaze, the most Zionist media outlets out there, and Fox News and Tucker Carlson started promoting it, saying that it had a 100% cure rate. And where are they getting the stats for the 100% cure rate? None other than a Chabad Lubavitch rabbi in New York, where the epicenter of coronavirus.
Do you know what Chabad Lubavitch rabbis believe? They believe in the Talmud and Noahide laws. They believe that Goyim are responsible for every bad done to a Jew, and then now you have to suffer. According to Jewish Utopia, a document or book that I have shown you so many times, they have Zoharic prophecies they are bringing right now to fulfilling, and they want Goyim to suffer as never ever in history. They want to bring horrible, horrible suffering to the Gentiles. So here we go.
Viruses. Doctor claims to have new solution for treating coronavirus. He did this video message for Donald Trump, and he's being propped up by all the Zionists everywhere. A Jewish doctor's off, and this is the Jewish Forward, March 26. A Jewish doctor's off-label virus treatment is now being used in multiple states and being pushed everywhere. Trump had previously described the drug as possibly a, quote, gift from God.
The drug. You know what's gift from God? Your own immune system and your killer cells and vitamins and minerals and natural, beautiful organic food and air and clean water and sunshine. This is your gift from God, not some pharma-made drugs, okay?
Zelenko said his clinic near Hasidic, that's Chabad Lubavitch Village in Orange County, New York, had given the drug cocktail to more than 500 patients, and none required hospitalization. But did they get better? Did they all heal? Drug might have a marginal benefit in fighting coronavirus, but it's not a silver bullet, essentially, is what this other doctor says. And there's a lot of known side effects. It is creating a shortage for people that use it for lupus and other illnesses. So they're having to ramp up production, and it's all BlackRock own companies that are doing it.
Ooh, BlackRock's own companies are ramping up production.
Right.
And it has a lot of side.
Data is unlimited. Oracle and Kushner are involved with tracking to see how well this works. I'm sure they're going to say that it's safe and effective and promoted for everybody.
Oh my goodness. He predicted it. He says, I'm sure Kushner is in charge of it. And
so he knew that it was going to.
Adam says, I'm sure they're going to come up with it so great. And, so yes, Adam, now you prophesied, it came true.
Crown Heights doctor. Joseph also said he's been in touch with a Crown Heights doctor. That's Chabad Lubavitch, home base.
That's right. Remember that.
Headquarters is in Crown Heights. Doctor treated hundreds of patients with the drug. What are the odds that the drug that they're ramping up and pushing everywhere is going to be connected to Chabad and BlackRock?
Wow. Isn't he smart? I think Adam knows.
He put it together early on.
He put it together really early on, and he goes just by the script, people. And of course, who is the savior? The Jews. Jews are your savior. So here you go. Israel will be your savior. The Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. They're going to come up with all of this cure. Just happens to be that it was in 2010 Rockefeller document. Interesting. Wow. Anyway, well, I guess I just, okay, so we watched this. I have to keep the links up because we have to put them for people.
Yes,
right?
That's fine.
Now, this is interesting, what I want to show you. Okay, you, Steve, talk about this because somebody on, in the comments, sent me this, and I happened to go through comments and I saw this, kind of got my attention. and I did not research it, so I don't know if it's a good idea to bring it on, but I'm just going to do it because it's on my channel, not on INL. So on mine, it doesn't matter. Hydroxychloroquine conjugated gold nanoparticles for improved siRNA activity.
Well, the thing is about when you're putting in their gold nanoparticles there, the one thing that catches my attention on this is the fact that it's using gold nanoparticles. Gold is always used when you're dealing with AI or artificial intelligence. When you use computers, they're using gold in there. So to actually put in, conjugate it with gold nanoparticles, to me, it's only helping to turn us into a, well, kind of like a cyborg of our own there. We will literally become more AI-like ourselves, because this is what they're wanting to do.
And isn't RNA in a new vaccine that they are rolling out,
Yes,
even
it
though
is.
people think they're not going to get a vaccine because they're going to swallow some drugs.
So what will it do? The hydroxychloroquine in this case here would actually cause later the vaccine, once you receive the vaccine, because you're not going to get away from this vaccine
So do you
idea.
think that this hydroxychloroquine is some kind of a prep for our bodies to
I think
accept
it's
the
going to be a
vaccine
bridge.
better? Something.
Right, because they're
Right,
showing you
right.
right here the conjugated gold nanoparticles for improved siRNA activity.
And I don't know what SI means, actually. I need to
Right.
research this. I forgot.
Well, they put in here a little bit more. Currently, technology for siRNA delivery relies on pharmaceutical dosage forms to route maximal doses of siRNA to the tumor. However, this rationale does not address intracellular bottlenecks governing silencing activity. Here we tested the impact of the hydroxychloroquine conjugation on the intracellular fate and the silencing activity of siRNA. Conjugated PEG elidated gold nanoparticles addition to hydroxychloroquine improved endosomal escape and increased siRNA guide strand distribution to the RNA induced silencing complex, both crucial obstacles to the potency of the siRNA. This modification signifying improved gene downregulation and cellulo. Altogether, our data suggests that the benefit of this modification for the design of improved siRNA delivery systems. So it looks like to me, and I'm not a doctor or a biologist.
It's hard to understand this.
Well, yeah, you're a biologist.
Yeah, but still, it's still difficult.
It seems to be, and again, this is only hypothetical, but it seems to be that the hydrochloroquine with this conjugated gold nanoparticles might give them a better delivery system for the RNA that's going to be in the vaccine.
Wow, I just hope
I don't know.
I don't know. So anybody who understands this, help us out.
Yep.
Okay, we don't
I'd like
know.
to get some inputs of others as well.
Yes. Let me see what I have here. Okay, this is this is just a little video. Just watch this. This is a Rockefeller Lockstep plan, another document.
In 2010, the Deep State had the Rockefeller Foundation script a plan to introduce martial law and a permanent method for total control of the citizenry. In this plan that they disguised as an academic scenario, as they called it, the method they would use to gain complete prison-like control of the entire population was to infect them with a devastating biological pandemic, and then, under the guise of protecting us from this threat, they would be free to implement their final solution, a prison state. The prison state that they need to keep their grip on power.
Keep in mind,
As usual,
2014
the
is there.
fascists disguise their crimes as helping us, and as is typical of this new type of fascism, they always make the claim that we the people are begging them to have more and more control over us. As you watch this video, remember that the Deep State concocted this scheme in 2010 as a quote-unquote simulation of what is to come. The following is proof that the Deep State is behind these viral pandemics. Absolutely positively, pandemics are now the tool of choice for the fascists known as the deep state and the private contractors that they contract these pandemics out to. For the deep state, to make an international pandemic isn't even a high-tech operation. It's a no-tech operation. It's easy. A simple vial of Ebola, SARS, MERS, Spanish flu, or coronavirus, or whatever they come up with in their secret bioweapons lab, is all they need to bring the world into their total control. The only thing you have to remember is if they can do it, they will do it, which means they already have done it.
The ruling establishment has a lot of, they will stop at nothing to complete their toolkit of control. Right? So one of the things that has been missing from the toolkit of total control has been quarantines and curfews, right? So now, welcome to the new world in America, where to get on a bus, to go through a subway station, if you think that the procedures at the TSA are onerous, right? Guess this is coming to a bus depot near you. It's a more invasive way, and the ruling class needs this because, let me say, if the ruling class ever saw wide-scale civil unrest, you'd see an Ebola outbreak in America right away.
Okay, so this is what you see is that Ebola is
another tool in the toolbox of the ruling class control. Yeah.
Well, Steve, I heard that if this coronavirus, which is a cold virus, mild cold virus actually, that 99.7% of population will recover with no symptoms or very mild symptoms.
Right.
Okay. Just like we had flus and worse flus than corona right now for millennia, and we survived it. There was no reason for quarantine and all of this that they are doing, and now taking down the economy, right? Okay, so where was I? I am so
You're getting tired, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm tired. Okay, so I don't know
I think
what
what would
said.
really be good, if you're winding down with this video,
Yeah.
I would really like to go back to that first video and slow it down for people a little bit. Just let them
we can
hear
do
that
this. So
again.
why don't I quickly say what I prepared?
Okay.
I can't believe it.
I didn't know if you're at the end yet or not. So I know you normally have a lot more frames up. You don't have that many up, so I know
No,
it's not
but I
a
had
long
videos.
video. Okay, yeah. So okay.
So, but anyway, let's see what I have.
Oh, you have some photo documents down here too that you.
I
want
wanted to
share
show
with
you
people.
Bill Gates with Rabbi Schneerson.
Yes.
Friends, Bill Gates is a Jew. He's very heavily involved with Chabad organization. So put all of these things together. He acts as if he was Christian American. He's not. He's Jew. His mother was Jewish. Okay, which would be no problem. But look at what he's doing. Look how they all.
Well, the whole point is that you have to look at, because you have to understand there's a lot of good Jewish people in the world that are not bad, that are not bent
they don't
on this
even know about
globalist
what's
agenda.
happening. Steve.
Exactly. But the thing is, what we're trying to get you to understand is that this is an organized crime network is what it is.
Yes.
It is. That's what it is. It is for global domination,
Right.
and that's what you're seeing. It has really, because there's many Jews that have no part in these type
And they
things.
suffer because they take their identity, the organized network that is criminal. They take identity of the Jews and then they do all kinds of stuff like that. So everybody thinks it's all Jews. It's not. It's that criminal fashion of Talmudic religion, okay? The highest Illuminati Satanists,
Yes.
Luciferians, who are going by the Talmud, by the way, and who created the state of Israel for the purpose of bringing Messiah. Their Messiah, that is, definitely not Jesus. But anyway, here is the Bill Gates. Bill Gates with Rabbi Schneerson, the head of the Jewish extremists, End Times, cult Chabad Lubavitch. Gates' mother is a Maxwell, related to the Israeli Mossad agent Robert Maxwell, and his daughter Ghislaine, who used child trafficking to blackmail world leaders with Jeffrey Epstein. Do you get it yet? Well, one sister was sharing this on Facebook, and I thought that would be nice to show you. And then another thing I want to show you is people who are in this Trump cult, as I call it, because they look at Trump as a savior and they still think in La La Land. They're so hooked on this left-right paradigm.
This is what I was talking about.
But anyway, what I'm saying, they send me this as a proof that hydroxychloroquine is some kind of miracle for people. And it says in here, this means, of course, that Fauci has known for 15 years that chloroquine and its even milder derivative, hydroxychloroquine, will not only treat a current case of coronavirus, therapeutic, but prevent future cases, prophylactic. So hydroxychloroquine function as both as a cure and a vaccine. Now, I have a problem with that. It's supposed to function as a vaccine. What is it? Part of the vaccine that's coming?
Well, that's that little subliminal message in there. And that's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about hydrochloroquine and this new gold nanoparticles that are in there. And as I said, it looks to me that they're going to be used hand in hand.
Well, problem is that people think that vaccine is only injectable, so now they're going to prevent it because they're going to swallow something. Such common thing like hydroxychloroquine. And so many people write me, Steve. Hold on.
I'm not going to start it. Just trying to get it ready.
This is something they can watch this very good program. But they send me this thing. Oh, my sister takes hydroxychloroquine. Well, let me show you something, okay? And then that's a drug, and wasn't military given hydroxychloroquine for malaria? Did you know that military have reported that after they gave it to soldiers had psychiatric issues? I mean, depression, suicide, hearing of voices. I mean, soldiers had psychiatric issues because that's another unwanted direct effect of hydroxychloroquine that I forgot to tell you about yesterday, and nobody talks about this. But okay, all of you that tell me and send me that how great this drug is and how safe, there are people who actually said it's not safe, okay? Now let me read you some of those type of people. For example, somebody says, I was diagnosed with lupus in 2016. I was prescribed this drug, hydroxychloroquine. I took it briefly for a few weeks and noticed that it was triggering bad migraine-like headaches. Knowing I never had any history of migraines was enough for me to immediately stop taking this drug, also known as Plaquenil. It is 2020 and I have never took anything for lupus since. Some days I wonder if I have even had lupus. So lady here with lupus feels better without this drug because she started to have strange headaches from it, okay? Let me see. Right. Hold on just a second.
What did that doctor say yesterday? Not side effects, but intended effects?
Yeah, unwanted direct effects.
Oh, okay, unwanted direct
effects. Another one. Okay, look at this. My mother died in January and heavily medicated on hydroxychloroquine. She had horrific death, full of huge sores in her body, multiple functions of other organs, lungs, heart, kidneys, and immune system were gone. From a very healthy woman, she died within 8 months. Okay, my heart still aches on how my mother looked in her last day. People have bad experiences with it as well. Okay, another one. Then somebody wrote on Facebook that it's a drug that doesn't cause any trouble and blah blah blah. Her sister is on that drug and all of that. Person says, I am afraid I had exact opposite experience. I was put on Plaquenil, which is hydroxychloroquine, the branded name for hydroxychloroquine. I had many adverse side effects and it compromised my immune system, letting my condition deteriorate. It has taken years to undo or attempt to mitigate the damage. I would never recommend this medication to anyone for any reason. Even a healthy immune system would suffer This is why everyone should research and choose for themselves. Okay, so we have people who've been on this medicine and there are warning, and then there's others who claim that they had never had problems. This is why you cannot take anecdotes when you are making decisions. But look at this. I like this YouTuber. He's Ice Age Farmer. And look at what he's reporting. If you thought that they are creating vaccines only by injection, can you imagine that you can get vaccinated by eating a tomato, Steve? So what is it? Mark of the beast is a tomato? If you eat a tomato? I mean, I just don't understand.
Well, everything is genetically
Everything
modified.
is weaponized now. Our food, our air, our water, then plus all kinds of drugs and injections. I mean, they're killing us. Yesterday I told you it's a pre-planned genocide of human species, and this is exactly what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, scientists are working to genetically engineer a tomato which can act as an edible coronavirus vaccine. Now, this to me begs the question, what if all of these things we've been hearing about Bill Gates's implantable quantum dot microneedle luciferase enzyme powered injectable delivery system, all of which is legitimately happening right now, what if all of that were just a very diabolical sounding decoy, and the real threat that we should be talking about is something so innocuous seeming as a tomato? I think we need to talk about that. I'm Christian, and this is the Ice Age Farmer broadcast. And reading here from Cornell's science blog, Alliance for Science, we see GMO tomato as edible COVID vaccine. Mexican scientists are working to make it a reality. From the article, quote, a research group at a Mexican university is using bioinformatics and computational genetic engineering to identify candidate antigens for a vaccine that can be expressed in tomato plants. Eating the fruit from these plants would then confer immunity against COVID-19. Now, this sounds like madness.
They will let you in a restaurant with one condition. You have to have as appetizer or a chopped up tomato or a salsa. Steve, we are living in some kind of Twilight Zone, strange. We entered some hell. I'm not kidding you. Hell.
Just a complete bastardization of nature and our food system. But we're in the coronavirus reality right now, and we have thrown all caution to the wind. We have no pretense of safety, no moral values guiding us anymore. So it's just do whatever you want, mad scientists. It's your day right now. The race is on to develop a vaccine using any means necessary, right? We've heard that phrase, to immunize the population against the new strain of coronavirus. Now, the article then goes on to explore this notion of using plants as vaccine biofactories, where they will create a bacterium that then modifies the genome of a plant such that it then goes on to produce, as it grows, these VLPs, virus-like particles, which create an immune response. Now, this is awfully similar, if you remember BT corn, where they had a bacterium that modifies the DNA of corn such that when the corn is then growing, it produces alongside itself pesticides, insecticides. Of course, that's disgusting. When you eat it too, your stomach starts to get some. There's a number of reasons this is not good for you beyond just eating the pesticides, and the fact that it destroys the natural genetics on this planet. But never mind all that. Again, we're going to do whatever we can for the COVID-19 situation. The most widely used plant for this kind of biofactories is a close relative of tobacco due to how fast it works and it's easy to work with, how fast it grows and it's easy to work with. But
wow, tobacco. This is what they're culturing the coming vaccines on. I'm going to have a show with Sophia Smallstorm on the coming vaccines. You will be shocked what they're doing with these vaccines on top of what Anthony Patch is saying, what the other doctors were saying, that they're inserting DNA, third strand. And On top of all of that, it's just shocking what they're preparing. And remember, it's a perpetual vaccination. It's not just one vaccine. This is perpetual, constant, every year, because they will say coronavirus mutates, changes. This is our way of life now. This is what people don't understand. Please unplug from the system, them against us. Trump is not going to save you. Hydroxychloroquine is going to cause mass deaths, according to the lockstep scenario of Rockefeller. But anyway.
Scientists have also worked with other crops, like lettuce, carrots, potatoes, rice, indeed tomatoes, and yes, corn, among others. Reading down here, this is also known as biofarming or molecular farming, and they're now exploring this for COVID-19.
Okay, I'm going to leave you a link because I don't want to make this video too long, but Steve, didn't Jesus say that if he didn't make these times short, no flesh would be saved? Because, Steve, I mean, look at this. They're attacking us from every side. I mean, we worried about vaccine. Now it's hydroxychloroquine craze that everybody is for it and they think that's the solution. They don't understand, Steve. There will be no end to this, and everything is a fraud and a lie and a trap. And the only salvation is in really unplug from this system. Don't play their games of right and left, but unplug, get into Christ, because we can't survive this attack on our biology. We can't. Do you have anything to add? What do you want to do? Because I think
the thing is that
I only have this to show them today. Rabbi Kanievsky announces the Messiah is here among us. So the Jews are preparing for their false Messiah. It's not going to be Jesus, friends. So if you're Zionists, please understand Jesus ain't coming there. Because some people think Jesus is coming, he's going to land in Jerusalem, and all these Jews are going to recognize, the whole time it was Jesus. It ain't going to happen this way. They're preparing their man, and it's just not going to be nice. It's not Jesus. It's going to be false Messiah. Anyway, Steve, I'll give it to you now because I am really, really exhausted after today. But go ahead.
The only thing I was going to say is in regards to this particular YouTube piece here by Ice Age Farmer, is that if you go back biblically, and we know that God said, let every seed bring forth of its kind. No seed, no fruit, no nothing was to be crossbred, manipulated, mingled with, or anything. If you look in the Dead Sea Scrolls, when the Qumran communities wrote about those passages, they said that this was a type for also the mingling of the seed of humanity, that they were not to crossbreed as well in humanity. And we're talking about with reptilian races. We're not talking about as far as, if you're Asian and you're European or something like that. It's not what he's talking about. He's talking about crossbreeding with fallen angels, things like that, or the children of the fallen angels. You're not to do that. But it was very specifically, you didn't even sow a different seed in the same field because there was the very need for not intermingling those seeds together like that. So I'm looking at the day we're living in, and I see that they're trying to bring us. They finished their breeding program for their Nephilim, and at the same time they're really mingling the seed in the crops as well, which is only a sign of what's been done already in the physicality.
They're violating everything, all laws of nature. Our biology, they're attacking not only us, but our biome and animals.
And then they're going to try to take and destroy humanity. They're looking for those that have genuine souls of God because that's what they want to attach to.
Right. This is actually eventually and ultimately the war on a woman's seed.
Exactly.
But anyway,
That's
we
right.
are going to end, friends, with this. Do you want to slow this down? And we will just play till the end from here as our ending.
Okay,
Again,
sure.
one more time so you can see how this hydroxychloroquine was part of the game.
Yeah.
And
That's,
you,
I think,
you,
'cause that
you're
was
jumping
such
on...
a good video you had here. Such a good
But
video.
listen, people are jumping on this. They're still trusting daddy government instead of trusting Jesus and finally understanding this is an attack on us in every form and genocide plan, and government ain't gonna save you. But anyway, just play it, and
Here we go.
you have a great
World very soon.
All right, what's going on? Just let me think about where to start.
Well, he saw something. What is it?
I saw a virus. I think some kind of disease.
Virus? Like what? Like SARS?
I don't know. All I know is that it's highly infectious. It may be fatal. Right now, we could all be
2003,
infected.
the dead zone.
If we take this outside, we risk the whole town.
Johnny, how big is this gonna get?
I don't know. We just have to do everything we can to stop this, starting right now. He's right. All right, here's what's going to happen. We need to make sure that everybody that's inside stays inside. I'm going to get a few deputies on it. We'll call it a lockdown.
Lockdown? No, you cannot lock the school doors.
This is for your family's safety.
Will I get sick too?
children. Did you know this? A child.
In other words,
Maybe
the
we should wear
female
masks.
first.
Masks.
What difference does it make? According to you, we've already been exposed. Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Smith. I'm responding to political pressure. You have no reason to be scared. Let me ask you something, Amy. Animals. You've been around any animals in the backyard, even, let's say, a skunk, a
Those
raccoon?
animals.
Animals.
That's why I said you have to slow it down.
Wow.
People were missing what's being said in here. So and then now they're starting to say your animals are getting COVID, right?
I'm going to swab the inside of your mouth with this little Q-tip. Trying to get a handle on this animal. Damn efficient airborne transmission. Blood tests and swabs aren't telling us much. We know it acts like a virus. It causes high fever and respiratory distress. Tracking and treating a mysterious outbreak like this would take the CDC months.
We better get started then. Anyone who hasn't been exposed already needs to wear a mask.
China. Is that where flu viruses come from? Yeah. A lot of viruses come from there. International flight to China? That's no coincidence. Whatever it is, it originated in China.
Time is not on our side.
It's like looking for a needle in a needle stack.
We have ruled out all the usual suspects. Influenza, SARS, bacterial pneumonia.
How long is it going to take? Well, it took 34 days to isolate the coronavirus that caused SARS, and that's fast.
I'm authorizing a quarantine on everyone who's come in contact.
Coronavirus that caused SARS. And this is the name of virus, SARS-CoV-2.
Right.
Contact with a symptomatic person.
There's got to be something I can do.
And the enzyme is chloroquine. They
So the chloroquine. So the chloroquine.
The chloroquine.
This is it. This is your virus.
I'm sorry, but there's no cure for that. Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug.
No. Listen, it suppresses the enzymes.
No,
Welcome back, you damn fool.
it suppresses the enzymes. That's what he said.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know, but that's what they're trying to push now too. So we don't have to go any further. I just wanted the people to really get a basic idea of what was being
Well,
said.
what I really
slow
wanted to stress one more time, we will see chloroquine and all that, but this is this involving anti-malarial drug resulting in mass deaths. Okay, here we go. Malaria, open innovation agenda, tainted anti-malarial drug years later, scandal sparked by mass deaths from tainted anti-malarial drug. Remember that. Mass deaths from tainted
And notice they're saying this is going to happen in 2021.
So if you take it now, maybe you're fine, but it might have long-term effects. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this document is from 2010, and so far everything in it happened. Anyway, you have a great night.
Thank you for